first came to Great Britain, my mother knew that the forces that were going to be around me, which were going to consume my innocence and my freedom. So she said to me one night, we were sitting in our room, she said, Mansukh, once upon a time a little boy just like you, who wanted to find that intense joy and freedom that everybody looks for, goes out of his home into a forest and sits under a beautiful tree. And he knows that if he sat under this tree and just contemplated and prayed, he would get an answer to his greatest question. An angel appears within moments of his true inspiration, and the angel says, what can I do for you, young child? And the young boy, with his hands in a posture of innocence, says, oh beloved friend, I just have one inquiry, and that is, please tell me, what is the purpose to my existence? Why am I here in this majestic universe? The angel says, you know, that's a pretty difficult question. Haven't you got anything simpler for me? And the boy says, no, that's the only one that will satisfy the thirst that's inside me. And the angel knew the boy was sincere. He said, come with me. The boy follows him out of the forest, and he comes to the end of the forest, sees a desert in front of him. And the angel says, are you sure you want to still know the answer to that question? He says, yes. And the boy walks with him into the desert. And as they're walking, the angel turns around and looks at the boy sweating under the sun and says, are you thirsty? Because I'm really thirsty. And the boy says, yes, I am. He said, well, you see those sand dunes over there? If you go over there, there's a group of small houses there. If you knock on one of those houses and ask for a glass of water, you can have some for yourself and bring some for me too. And I will wait here for you. The boy runs towards the sand dunes, jumps over the sand dunes and goes into this hamlet of homes. Knocks on the first door. A man answers and he says, yes. The boy says, I'm very thirsty, and my friend too. Can we have some water? He's invited into the house. The man asks his daughter to serve this boy. The daughter doesn't just bring water, but also brings some food, because the boy looks hungry. As she gives this food and water, the boy's eyes are captivated by the girl's eyes, and the fire is lit of passion. And within moments, the girl and the boys are smiling. The father asks the little boy and says, would you not like to stay and rest a little bit here? The boy does, not just for one day, for many weeks and many months to come. Eventually, the girl and the boy fall in love with each other. The father grows old, and then finally he gives his land and animals to the boy. They live together. They have 3 children, a lot of land. Then one day, destiny calls, and the rains come, the monsoons. As the rains come, and they find that the water in the river rises, the banks break, the waters flood out of this beautiful river and captures the animals and takes them away. The father runs with his children and his wife to the top of the roof to try and save himself. But the water keeps rising, and in the middle of the night, the water has come so far that as the father is tired and falling asleep with all his children in his grasp, the water carries away the littlest child, little baby. And as the girl is carried away, she cries out and says, Father, save me, save me, save me. And the father wakes up, half asleep and half awake, jumps into the water to try and save the child, tries to swim toward the child, but the current is too strong. And at the same time is left behind his children and wife, the other children. Suddenly darkness consumes him. He's tired and his strength goes away. He sinks into this water and he becomes unconscious. And minutes later, he seems to wake up with his face against some sand, sun beating behind his back, and he feels a tapping on his shoulder. He turns around and sees a big silhouette of a figure against the sun, and from it comes a voice, and it says, where is my glass of water? And with tears in his eyes, the boy just says, "I'm sorry, I've forgotten." And my mother said, "Don't you forget that you came here to fill your glass of water."